The story of Noah and the Ark is a foundational narrative found in the Abrahamic traditions, especially within the Bible's book of Genesis. It revolves around Noah, a man deemed righteous by God in a world consumed by corruption and violence. Due to humanity's depravity, God decides to restart creation through a catastrophic flood. Noah is divinely instructed to build an ark, a large vessel meant to preserve himself, his family, and a pair of each animal species, thus ensuring the continuity of life on Earth. The significance of this narrative lies in its themes of obedience, resilience, and divine judgment, which are crucial to understanding Noah's role in the ancient stories that shaped religious and moral frameworks. As a protagonist, Noah embodies unwavering faith and determination, qualities celebrated across cultures and religions. His story underscores the importance of stewardship and responsibility towards Earth and all living beings, echoing environmental and ethical messages relevant in contemporary discussions about climate change and conservation. An example of this narrative's impact is the moral lesson in resilience and foresight, akin to disaster preparedness efforts today. Just as Noah built the ark in anticipation of the flood, modern societies invest in infrastructure and strategies to mitigate the effects of natural disasters. Another application can be seen in biodiversity conservation. Noah's preservation of species reflects today's environmental conservation endeavors, emphasizing the critical need to protect the planet's life forms against extinction. Scholars and theologians often appreciate the story for its rich symbolism and moral teachings. Some view Noah as a paragon of virtue and a pioneer of faith-driven action. However, challenges and controversies arise around the literal interpretation of the narrative. Skeptics question the feasibility of constructing such a grand ark and sustaining a multitude of species within it. These doubts often lead to debates over the intersection of faith, history, and science. This narrative indeed connects to broader themes of salvation and renewal, influencing theological discussions and literary works. It serves as a precursor to other biblical figures and stories where faith and divine intervention play central roles in human survival and moral redemption. Furthermore, Noah's tale challenges individuals to consider the balance between divine will and human agency, reinforcing the importance of individual actions in the face of existential threats. Through these threads, the story of Noah and the Ark continues to resonate, inspiring introspection and action within religious, moral, and environmental contexts. The heading, Divine Instructions and Blueprint for the Ark, encapsulates the notion that Noah's construction of the ark was guided by more than just human intuition or engineering prowess. It was directed by meticulous, divine instruction. According to biblical accounts, specifically in Genesis 6:14-16, God provided Noah with detailed plans for building the ark. These instructions included the type of wood to use, gopher wood, as well as dimensions specifying that the ark should be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. This indicates that Noah's task was not merely an act of survival, but a fulfillment of a divinely orchestrated plan designed to preserve life through a forthcoming cataclysmic flood. Understanding the significance of these divine instructions is crucial as it highlights the ark not only as a vessel of refuge, but as a testament to faith and obedience. By following God's blueprint, Noah exemplified trust in a higher wisdom, making the ark a symbol of divine-human collaboration that saved humanity and countless species from extinction. Real-world applications of this idea can be seen in various aspects. Firstly, the concept of following a higher guidance parallels modern practices in fields such as architecture and engineering, where strict adherence to design blueprints is necessary for successful construction projects. Secondly, in spiritual or religious contexts, the Ark story is often utilized to illustrate the importance of faith-based leadership and adherence to divine wisdom in decision-making processes. Supporters of this idea argue that the specific instructions underscore the intentionality behind the Ark, separating it from mythic flood stories in other cultures as a unique event marked by a divine-human interaction. Critics, however, question the feasibility of such an undertaking, sparking debates about the practicality of the Ark's dimensions and the specifics of animal gathering, leading some to view it as allegorical rather than historical. This concept connects to other aspects of how Noah built the Ark by revealing the broader narrative of faith and survival. These divine instructions form the foundation upon which other elements, such as the act of building and the subsequent journey, rely. In essence, the divine blueprint serves as the cornerstone of Noah's story, illustrating an enduring lesson on the importance of heeding higher guidance in the face of overwhelming challenges. The concept of gathering materials and resources for construction, in the context of how Noah built the Ark, is a foundational step that underscores the entire endeavor of saving humanity. It involves identifying, sourcing, and assembling the necessary materials and tools required to build a structure as enormous as the Ark. This task is critical because the success and sustainability of the construction are entirely dependent on the quality and availability of these resources. The significance of this step cannot be overstated. Without the right materials, the Ark would not have been seaworthy or capable of fulfilling its divine mission. In terms of real-world applications, consider modern construction projects like urban skyscrapers or massive dams. These undertakings require meticulous planning and procurement of materials such as steel, concrete, and glass, often sourced globally. Similarly, Noah would have needed to plan and gather durable timber, likely cypress wood as described in ancient texts, and incorporate pitch for waterproofing. Another comparable example is shipbuilding in ancient Rome, where the availability of timber from distant places determined the Navy's ability to expand its military influence. Experts often argue that Noah's ability to gather and prepare materials demonstrates not only resourcefulness, but also an adherence to divine instructions. The notion here is that meticulous planning and obedience to a well-conceived plan can lead to monumental achievements, even in modern contexts. This perspective is supported by historical and religious interpretations that emphasize faith and diligence as driving forces behind successful undertakings. However, there are challenges and alternative viewpoints to consider. Skeptics may debate the feasibility of such an endeavor by a single family, suggesting that logistical constraints, like the procurement of vast quantities of wood, could not have been overcome. Additionally, some argue that the story of Noah's Ark should be interpreted metaphorically rather than literally, challenging the necessity for precise historical accuracy. From an engineering standpoint, questions arise about the construction techniques available in Noah's time and how they could support such a large-scale project. This aspect of gathering materials directly influences other components of the Ark's construction, such as its design, structural integrity, and ultimately its ability to withstand the catastrophic flood. It exemplifies how foundational resources and materials are central to achieving greater objectives, serving as a springboard for discussions about execution, divine intervention, and historical legacy. By understanding this concept, audiences can appreciate the complexity and dedication needed to embark on such a significant undertaking as the building of Noah's Ark. In exploring construction techniques and labor force in the context of how Noah built the Ark, we delve into the practical methods and manpower that were essential for crafting a vessel capable of withstanding a deluge. This concept encompasses the specific building strategies, tools, and workforce organization necessary to realize such a monumental task. Understanding these techniques is pivotal, as they highlight not only the technical ingenuity of a pre-modern society, but also the collaborative effort required to execute a project with potentially life-saving stakes. The significance of this point in relation to the overarching narrative of Noah's Ark is immense. The construction techniques and labor force underscore the feasibility of the biblical account, transforming it from a mere story into a plausible historical or allegorical reference. For instance, one specific example includes the use of pitched waterproof ceiling, which is akin to the bitumen used in ancient shipbuilding, providing realism to the narrative. Furthermore, the labor force could be seen as an organized community effort, somewhat comparable to contemporary Amish barn-raising practices, illustrating how collective human endeavor can overcome seemingly insurmountable tasks. Supporting opinions suggest that the Ark's construction reflects human ingenuity and collaboration at its finest. Scholars argue that this tale emphasizes human resilience, religious faith, and resourcefulness, traits pivotal for survival and adaptation. Conversely, there are challenges and controversies associated with this concept, such as the skepticism regarding the Ark's sheer size and the logistics of its construction with ancient tools and materials. Critics often question the historical accuracy and viability of the account, proposing alternate theories, like the story being a metaphorical or mythological narrative rather than a literal event. This exploration of construction techniques and the labor force directly influences other aspects of the Noah narrative, such as the Ark's design and durability, which are predicated on the methods and manpower employed. Additionally, it touches on themes of leadership and divine guidance, as Noah's successful direction of the construction and mobilization of resources implies an underlying narrative of faith and trust in a higher power. Ultimately, by shedding light on the practical elements of the Ark's construction, we gain a deeper understanding of the intricate interplay between human capability and divine intervention, integral themes that resonate throughout the tale of Noah's Ark.